nation, Ghana, struggling to get a stadium, just a proper stadium to host CAF Champions League matches. And now only Baba Yara Stadium is good enough. And even that, there are issues hanging around that because CAF and FIFA are raising concerns with the Black Stars games even at that venue. And so we are looking potentially at a time in the future, near future, very, very soon actually, that you're going to have even the Black Stars struggle to get stadiums to play certain games in Ghana. And that we may have to look outside Ghana to host games for the Black Stars. And is it not sad? A footballing great nation, a sporting great nation like Ghana, we are beginning to clearly have issues of standards, maintenance, and how we maintain our infrastructure, sports infrastructure, and how we ensure that the standards are maintained. Like I said, AFCON was held in Ghana not long ago, 2008. How long is that? Over 10 years, yes, I know. But did we have to, about 15 or so years, 15, 16 years, thereabout. But we built 2 new stadiums then. Esipon Sports Stadium. If you check out the current state of that stadium in Esipon, it's appalling. Tamale is now in use by the RTU team. But the current state, it cannot host international matches. I can tell you for a fact. Accra Sports Stadium, the stadium in the nation's capital. Accra Sports Stadium, the stadium in the nation's capital, which was also redesigned and rebuilt, if you like, in 2008 for that nation's cup. I remember. It's also currently in a state where it cannot host internationally approved games for Champions League and also for Black Stars games. The nation supposed Wembley. All because of how we poorly maintain our stadiums. And in this instance, we can only talk about one institution, the NSA, and its sub-bodies, if you like, whether the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and for that matter, government. What is our maintenance manual for these infrastructure or the stadiums we have in Ghana? How often do we go to work on these stadiums? The dressing rooms and the state they are in. The changing rooms in there. The washrooms. Do we know its current state? And do we check periodically to maintain and work on them? To ensure that a day will not come like today that we will cut pants down. And CAF will tell us our stadiums don't meet the standards. So they are sorry, we cannot play our games in those stadiums. And the whole Ghana, that hosted the Nations Cup some 15 years ago with 4 stadiums, 2 brand new, and 2 other 2 that were refurbished, Kumasi and Accra Sports Stadium, and 2 brand new stadiums, Esipon and Tamale. And not too long ago, 2016 or thereabout, 2015, 16ish, we built a new stadium also in Cape Coast. And today we are told by CAF that those venues, all of them don't meet the standards for a CAF Champions League match. And the reasons were spelled out, and they have been spelled out. Even the pitch, undulating, too many potholes, undulating surface. How? The dressing room issues, media center issues, now approved by CAF. So what are the standards that we use for these constructions and then the maintenance manuals we use? Because as a nation, we cannot just be throwing money into constructing sports stadiums and just 6 years on, 7, 8, 9 years on, we are told that these stadiums don't meet some standards and so cannot be used for its purpose to play in certain standards or certain games. It's an indictment on all of us as a nation. And the NSA and its employees and those who work there, the bosses, the board, the CEOs, who run the sports authority, the NSA, shame on to all of you. Over the years, what has been the maintenance manual? How do you guys maintain the stadium or the venues? How do you work on them? Esipon is in ruins. We've been told severally by the sports minister that the works are ongoing, but you go there and there are no works ongoing on other grounds. Not too long ago, we also went to the Kaneshi Sports Complex. You recall that story? Issue is that we have a big problem as a nation with maintenance and how we maintain our infrastructure as a nation. We spend so much in building. The taxpayers' money, you and I, our money is spent, so much of it is spent in building. We build it beautifully. But how to maintain it? People are put in charge though. But how to maintain it and ensure that we maintain and have a plan to maintain, a periodic plan that seeks to ensure that every now and then some works are done to ensure the facilities are well maintained. We don't do that. If we have the plan, it means we don't do it. Baba Yara Stadium, which was beautifully done, Accra Sports Stadium, beautifully done. I remember back in the days, President Kufuor's era, for that Nations Cup that was held in Ghana, beautiful Nations Cup. All of us were happy as Ghanaians. And just some few years, 15, 16 years on, that facility is in ruins now and cannot host any proper Black Stars game. Any proper CAF game cannot be held here, Accra. But for the Black Queens, and that's for that one, because the fans won't come, the standards are down a bit, so they can allow those ones. But is it not really a shame on all of us as a nation that the nation's Wembley, the stadium in the nation's capital, Accra, look at the enclave and where it finds itself, Accra Sports Stadium, is not fit for purpose and cannot host Black Stars games. And for so many months, so many years, no proper Black Stars big game is held here because it doesn't meet the standards. And now Mediema Champions League, that even Obuasi Goldfield Stadium was good enough to host because they were maintaining it and doing very, very well with the maintenance. Now we cannot even have those games at the Cape Coast Stadium. If you read the reasons, pitch issues day, dressing room issues day, press center or press room issues day. Almost every other issue, every other thing at the stadium, there was an issue with it that was captured. Accra, same issues. Tamale and Esipon, I won't talk about them again because they are well documented. Baba Yara, which is approved for Champions League matches and Black Stars games now, even that, there has been a warning given to the Ghana, to the Federation. So Ghana and the ministry, warning given them that if A, B, C, and D are not done, there's a possibility in the nearest future, even Black Stars games cannot be held at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. How did we get here as a nation? Maintenance culture, like we always do say. Terrible. We are simply terrible at it. To everyone involved, from the Ministry of Youth and Sports, led by the Minister of Youth and Sports, Mustafa Yusuf Honorable, Deputy Ministers at the Ministry, the NSA, Sport Authority, Prof. Chumesi, and the board at the NSA. This is directly under you, and it's on you. This is on you, Prof. Chumesi, the board at the NSA. This is directly under you and on you now. It is sad. But as always, as Ghanaians as we are, we don't see the bigger issues as big. We trivialize all the big issues. And I'm sure we'll do the same with this. After all, we'll speak for just a few days and then it will go, as always. It's a shame on all of you that you sit in those offices, source all your salaries or allowances, and still the facilities are in their current state. And we are all looking on as they remain in their current state. We rather will pump all the money into Black Stars games We pump all the money into Black Stars games as a nation. But forget that they play on pitches. They play our stadiums. And we will need money to maintain those venues. If the maintenance manuals you have at the NSA, if the money is required is not being given you by the ministry, come out, let us know these things. If you're not making enough money to ensure that you're able to maintain the stadiums and ensure they are at the right standards for international matches, let us know. Because we cannot have you guys continually be in these offices and yet these things keep on coming week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. And over the years, we've always talked about our maintenance culture as Ghanaians. And yet, nothing really changes about us. We keep on doing the same old things. But as Ghanaians as we are, we keep on doing the same things, but expect different results. I wonder how we seek to get those results or changes by still maintaining the way we do things in this country. Today, my one piece clearly is that shame on to everyone involved at the NSA and the ministry who have looked on to ensure that in this day and age, October 2023, this great footballing nation called Ghana does not have stadiums good enough to host CAF Champions League matches apart from the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. And so CAF has had to tell Mediama that Cape Coast is not good enough. Accra, not good enough. So they must go to Kumasi to go and play their games. And that's the only venue in Ghana, within the whole of Ghana, the only venue that CAF says is of standard to host a CAF Champions League game. And even that, they had to forgo some things to ensure that they do it. But for that, our teams will have to be looking at Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, perhaps Togo, to go and play their games in the Champions League and the Confederations Cup. That's how poor and how bad this is. And it's all on us. The NSA, the ministry, shame on all of you. We need not to be hearing the excuses. Fix them. Get them fixed. I have been to the washrooms of these facilities at the stadium, and they are terrible. And I saw. Go to the Accra Stadium washrooms. Baba asked, even Baba Yara washrooms. Go and check these things. I mean, how?